13-0 are some of the most exciting and craziest matches in Counter-Strike, happening only a handful of times, so matches like these are something special. Wait, all of these matches are versus FaZe. How did FaZe manage to lose this many times without winning a round? So when FaZe are finally the team winning all the rounds, it's quite unexpected. FaZe destroyed 3D Max by abusing their lackluster map control attempts and early aggression to their advantage. So join me as I break down this masterclass from FaZe with insane 3v5 round conversion, great 1v1 clutches and more, and FaZe showing 3D Max they still belong in the tier 2 scene, on Anubis at least. We are jumping into the pistol round and we can see that the teams will have two different approaches. Let's start with 3D Max's approach. They have gone for a smoke and a kit, meaning they will be ready for a ninja defuse and rather play for the retake, where they can pop the smoke and run in for the defuse, while the rest will push site and try to make sure FaZe can't stop the defuse. And in theory, this is great, as if the plant is open or the round is down to an equal amount of players, it can be hard for the T's to find a kill through the smoke. But the flaw in the strat is that if FaZe plants in a very common angle, with easy spam lineups, it's not easy to pull off. As well as since you have to buy a kit, you can't get armor, and that makes you way weaker to body shots from the Glock. FaZe on the other hand has one smoke and one flash. This indicates that they will either try to win map control with the utility or go for a site take with a smoke and a flash to be fast and win site. And on Anubis, as it's very easy to split up the sites with just one smoke. This is a very valid strat to go for. As for A, you will only need a smoke in heaven, so you only have to worry about camera and mid. While over on B, you can smoke this spot here and go for the execute, you only have to worry about backside and con. FaZe starts around playing for map control, as well as send 3 players towards water, as this is the main spot to control for the T side in most rounds, as you control the paths to both A and B to take it, so winning it is crucial. But they are set up in a fun way, with Kerrigan on stairs holding for A main, and then they have a Leech and Rain going carpet. And I will soon show you why it's fun, but let's see how the rest of FaZe and 3D Max are playing first. FaZe will then have the last 2 players in very passive setups to rather hold for any pushes and not try to win more map control. As too many players want to go for map control and on different parts of the map, you will spread yourself too thin, and that can lead to a lot of issues for the T side. 3D Max on the other hand are going for a very similar setup with 4 players going to A, and then 1 alone on B here. And for 3D Max, they want to win water control and force the T's back. And that is why they go with 4 players, as usually this means you will have more players to trade off and win water control than the T side. Then the solo B player is playing here, as it's a good off angle to deal with any players peeking con from water, as well as you can listen and play anti-flash in case FaZe tries to do a fast B play. So what happens? A Leech and Rain both drops and makes a lot of sound, and this is never good when 4 players are waiting, but there is a goal here. Kerrigan had the flash, and by making this sound you force 3D Max players to look water, and to time that with the flash from Kerrigan is perfect, as this hits a lot of the CT players. And here Rain does the second part of the setup by jumping with the Glock on burst.
Not as the favorite to win the match. It's been quite... Oh my lord! Is that how we're gonna start things off?
As the USPS wants to aim for the headshot, so by jumping like a monkey, ruins the crosser placement, so a Leech running behind Rain can push out and have the advantage versus the CTs. And here it's just a diff man, as Rain jumping before the flash pops finds a kill, and then a Leech on the swing, as now he is going in, as Rain walked too far to the left, peeks on the flash and finds 2 more kills before Gravity finds the trade on the Leech but can't kill Rain. And within 20 seconds a 4-man stack was ruined by 1 flash, 1 jumping Glock and an American hero. And Exercise is forced to run and is heard by Brokey, and FaZe cleans up the round.
As the favorite to win the match. It's been quite... Oh my lord! Is that how we're gonna start things off? Elysian Rain decimate everyone. A little bit of burst fire beauty.
Well, entertainment value immediately.
Yeah.
So FaZe have won the pistol. What an opening from Rain.
This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey, the ultimate CS2 skin trading site. Upgrade your inventory instantly with fast, easy trades. No hassle, no waiting. Use filters to find the best skins in your price range and earn rewards as you trade. Get up to $5 for free when you trade at least $10. No skins? No problem. Buy at a discount and boost your deposit by up to 35% with the code AGONOR. And check out the free section for giveaways and tasks to win more skins. Click the link and start trading today. Now back to the video. First gun round is on its way, and both teams has to make this count, as if FaZe loses this round, they might not be able to buy considering they don't have a lot of money left. Well, if 3D Max loses this round, they will be quite badly off, and giving away round 4 due to having to save, and might even struggle to get a proper buy in round 5. So there's a lot of pressure on both teams. Let's start with 3D Max and their setup. They will start early to use this smoke off spawn, and usually the CTs want to smoke this part, but this does not do a lot, as in the scenario you smoke here. You as the CT set yourself up versus boost nades, and spam, as well as neither team can't really win a lot of mid control, so it's not the best to do. So here they will rather go for this smoke here to split up mid from FaZe, meaning if 3D Max decides to push middle, one water player have to be staying and holding here in middle, since the player who usually does it will be smoked off. And this smoke itself weakens both the mid hold and the water push from the T side. But as we can see, 3D Max uses this smoke to instead leave mid open and have 3 players going to A, as with a weakened mid and water hold, a water push from A might actually be quite effective. Then 3D Max will have 2 players on B in a very default setup with 1 player holding con, and here Gravita has studied FaZe, as he will be fast into con and then block the default smoke FaZe uses like this, and this creates an opening he might be able to abuse later. While Lucky will have a Molotov in his hand and just jiggle to take contact towards B main if FaZe pushes him, as well as with the smoke being blocked it helps the con player holding towards B main, as usually this smoke forces any players out of con and in a worse spot to hold for the B rush. FaZe on the other hand are going for a very default setup with 1 player alone holding towards B and for any pushes from the CTs. Then after the smoke 3D Max through, FaZe will have 3 players holding for middle from this side, and these players will start to take mid control. Then FaZe will have Rain with the best spawn, going to stairs and using a nade here to hit any players lining up the stairs nade or flashes, and this hits Maka, but not for a lot, before Rain falls back and goes carpet. So here we can see FaZe leaves water open for the taking, while 3D Max leaves mid open for the taking. The CTs goes for these 2 flashes from Maka, a Molotov in water to clear out anyone holding there, and just like that 3D Max has 1 water control early, and now the smoke that was blocked comes in handy, as if CTs in water would have seen a player there, the con player could have peeked and helped out winning water control. But there are some issues. Let's start with Rain. He has not been spotted and is in a great spot to deal with any of the water players, but even better is the mid players from FaZe, as they will smoke like this and Molotov to force any CT players in mid away, and this gives them the window of opportunity, and here Kerrigan can find the water player and the first kill for the T side. Again, roughly 20 seconds into the round.
That's true, that's very true. Kerrigan through the window. Exercise to go down, and we've got FaZe up 1 player straight away into the first gun round.
On this kill, Rain takes a very aggressive position looking for any players from A main pushing out, while Frozen sets himself up in a spot to hold for B pushes if 3D Max wants to win some map control back. While on this death, the con player walks out to make sure FaZe can't win too much water control after this, and then Maka will rotate over to B to help out. Rain wants to drop but can't do it safely, as jumping now silently from carpet is hard to do when no one has been holding water. So here he will Molotov the opening and this hits body, revealing where he is. FaZe uses a lot of utility with a smoke mid and con, as well as a Molotov on the side here. As with the first wave FaZe took middle, they left this part unattended, so here the CTs could have taken it back. And then they will nade their own smoke in middle to make sure no CTs can be hiding there, and I like this way of taking mid from FaZe. Body meets this with a smoke in middle, and this forces FaZe back, and here Body and 3D Max has to make a decision. If he goes back to A, or if they all stay put and play for the retake, and quickly it's a missed call, as FaZe can walk out on A site with a smoke mid like this, and heaven, and site has been taken and 3D Max has to save with 4 players left.
You're 3D Max, you've been on such a long rise and you're trying to shake that moniker of being the gatekeepers of tier 2 and firmly establish yourself as a tier 1 team. A win here over FaZe would be valuable to change the way people perceive you. 5-on-4 and FaZe working themselves slowly in the late round into the A bomb site, and there's going to be nobody home. 3D Max just shifted off to stack the B bomb site, so this round will end with a whimper as FaZe get a free site, a free plants, and a free 3rd round.
As round 3 was not as bad as it could have been for either teams, we will see another buy, as 3D Max managed to have 4 players alive and can save a lot of money to build up a bank, so they can buy next round, no matter what happens in this round. While FaZe kept 5 players alive, allowing them to fully save and only having to reinvest in some utility for the round, setting myself up with the possibility to build a massive bank and make sure a loss or 2 in rounds can't affect them too much. But who am I kidding? You know FaZe won't lose a round. 3D Max starts the round with 2 players on B, and here both players are towards this part of site, so no smokes or Molotovs can split them up, in case FaZe pushes them on B. Then they will have 1 player in middle who waits with the utility until the mid utility from FaZe starts to drop in, so he does not waste any of his utility too early. Then they have 2 players on A, where one will be in camera and help in mid fast, and the other will try to win and hold A main control. FaZe are going for 1 player in carpet who will use some early utility towards camera to force the camera player to make a decision of staying on site or walking to middle. Then FaZe will have 3 players in middle with the leech pushing up on a good spawn, and then have Brokey and Kerrigan holding further back, ready with utility to help. And the last player will be outside of B early and keep the bomb close, as from here he can rotate safely to A if needed, with the bomb through spawn. But early it does not go as planned, with brokey missing his Molotov, and this lands with Kerrigan, making it so he can't help out in middle with utility and pushes. And advanatge pushing has to worry about this part now, as the goal was to Molotov everything, so here he could win mid easier. But now there's a spot with the door that is missing a Molotov. Then gravity again blocks the con smoke, and this gives him an opening in the top right that he can use to jump spot and see towards water. Unintended, but a great advantage for 3D Max. The Molotov from Rain is timed when advanatge will be peeking towards camera, entry from middle. And this is great, as this Molotov would have forced Maka to either run into middle and be in the open, giving advanatge a high chance of winning the fight, or at least make brokey able to trade him fast, or force Maka back to camera and giving away full mid control to FaZe. And does Maka think he is this guy? And here Maka tries to Molotov face off, but it's too deep and does not do too much, sadly. And look at this, FaZe only uses a flash and a smoke in middle, and this forces 3D Max to now try to win mid back, as they have no water control, so mid is the last spot for them to try to take and try to win this round. And here they invest 4 players to take it, as they will break the smoke with a nade and try to win middle. But FaZe stays back, as this will force 3D Max to either push into them and put 3D Max out of position in both the fighting and the rotations, but 3D Max rather falls back and have only 1 player staying. advanatge finds the first kill, as 3D Max only used 1 out of the 4 players to walk up in middle, and FaZe has the advantage again. Well, it goes quiet, as FaZe now wants to wait for a misplay from 3D Max, and here they will have Rain lurking to get some information, and then Kerrigan in this off angle, and 3D Max goes for a double peek into water. And look how not ready body and gravity are for this position, as we can see on the crosshair placement, as well as they line up. So here Kerrigan finds 1 kill before he is traded, but this helps the T side more than the CT side. On this, FaZe tries to run to B sides, and here they are not ready for 2 more players on B, and quickly the man advantage is gone. And FaZe are actually on the back foot, as advanatge is low, so how will this go? Well, who am I kidding, we all know how this goes. Well, remember this guy? He has lurked all the way from A to mid and now to B, and when advanatge is calling for help, the man himself walks through the smoke and finds the kill, and this leaves Maka alone in a 1v2. And here advanatge, who is low, is able to find the headshot, and it's insane FaZe actually splits this much up when advanatge is on low HP in a 1v2, but hey, they still managed to win it.
Again, holds down mouse 1, eventually gonna be traded out, so here comes the attack in towards Lucky. Gets a dink as well, so Gravity able to finish off the scraps. 2v2, 30 seconds, advanatge pinned in the corner, needs to rely upon Rain's success from Temple. And he will come through that smoke. No one's looking at him. And he has a chance now with this kill on Gravity. It frees up advanatge. He can come out of the corner. They're going to try and figure out where Maka is, but that bomb's going to go down. And so now it's a difficult round for Maka. Managed to stay tucked in the corner, so Rain didn't see him on that peak.
It's the only advantage he has is that they don't know where he is. Although advanatge is going to find out, and he wins the fight straight up.
These videos takes ages to make and produce, as I'm a solo team doing all the work. So sub, comment and like on the video really makes the work worth it. Thank you so much, and back to the video. FaZe are down in a 3v5. This is the ticket for 3D Max to put some rounds on the table and make it competitive. What the fuck? How did they lose this round, by the way? Well, it all starts with greed, like it always does with Counter-Strike players. 3D Max has the advantage with 2 more players than FaZe alive, and here they want to just win mid-control as they have 3 players, and advanatge was spotted falling back to this opening here. And here is something we call tunnel visioning. And for the unaware, this is a common misplay at all levels of Counter-Strike, where you see something and fully focus on that. And for 3D Max, that is advanatge in this window, meaning it will look like this. You don't care about anything else, and it looks like a tunnel for exercise. And here, when he peeks out, he is not paying attention to further back where brokey is. And here, both players trying to kill advanatge is found by brokey, and this 5v3 is now a 3v3.
Oh, brokey got both? That is so ridiculous that he gets away with 2 kills there.
And not only that, but FaZe wins mid-control fully from this, meaning both sides become targets now that FaZe can abuse, and makes 3D Max's job of predicting where FaZe is much harder. And then to make it worse, Rain lurking in water will now peek out and take the 1v1 against Lucky, who now is on a timer as he knows that mid fell, so he has to kill Rain or fall back and wait for the backup. And here Rain could walk out on A site as Lucky went to mid to help his teammate to win mid control. So this round falls apart due to greed around map control. Our tips for 3D Max the next time is to leave mid open and rather just hold the sites. You have 2 players up, man. Neither Rain or Lucky can kill each other, as Lucky has to disengage as he knows he will soon have to worry about any mid peaks, and this gives Rain full on A site control. Frozen peaks will brokey holds for any players coming to middle, and quickly FaZe gets the advantage and a plant. And here Rain is fast to check main and finds the second kill, finds the second to last player, and Maka on the AWP is forced to save. And this loss would ruin the economy and next few buys from 3D Max and give FaZe a massive lead going into the rest of the game. Stop showing that, man.
Opens up middle. breaks the defensive 3D Max. And although it was a 5v3 start, that's gone now. And there's still 45 seconds for FaZe to work this, and they've got Lucky low. They've got Lucky very low, and so Frozen easily gets through him.
That's what you like to see out of Rain on these kind of lurk positions. Oh, hold the phone. Speaking of lurk, Gravity coming back around. Rain to challenge. Oh my lord.
FaZe are looking sharp at the moment.
Yeah, this ain't group stage FaZe to 3D Max's detriment.
FaZe had a great lead, and here they are switching it up, as usually they have been trying to win mid and water control, and rather played very slow or far back on B, and not challenge it. And this is what we call a conditioning play, as now 3D Max will be used to this lack of B pressure, and might not expect it when FaZe sends 3 players to try to find an opening there. Then FaZe will have 1 player in middle using a flash and peek, and this is done as we already know, since 3D Max mid player will only use utility when he hears the utility from the T side in mid. And the last FaZe player is here looking towards water, and will as well Molotov main and try to win some water control. 3D Max will have 2 players in mid early, 1 on A and 2 on B, a very default setup, as this covers most of the map. FaZe throws a B execute with a con smoke that gets blocked, a Molotov backside, and this smoke here on the corner. Here are the lineups, and this type of take is good, as it creates an easy path to fight the con player and win site, without allowing the CTs any good openings towards site. But FaZe are not going. Why? Well, advanatge has been able to take mid control. Rain has won a lot of water control, and they want this utility to force the CTs out of position, as when FaZe smokes everything on site, the CT players on B will think FaZe might be out. And here, as they have been split up, this will force Gravity to try to win water control, so he can't be pushed by FaZe. And here Rain finds this kill and gives FaZe the advantage, but it's an insane kill to see, as Rain tries to nade the smoke to break it, but misses. And then he just says fuck it, and goes for the spray and finds the con player on like first bullet. Insane to see from the Norwegian king.
Oh no, Gravity, it gets even worse.
What are you supposed to do about that?
Pressure like a fake and a kill on a key part of the B hold will force 3D Max to win some other parts on the map, as they need information, and here FaZe are predicting it perfect, with Kerrigan going to middle to help advanatge. Here advanatge finds 1 more kill, and it looks perfect for FaZe until Exercise does this. What a transfer, and this amazing opening has been ruined from one great play and away from Kerrigan, as Kerrigan was moving while standing up before he started a spray, and not after it, making it much more harder to control. And Exercise ducking perfect from the bullets, and it's down to a 3v3.
Hit the site late, so everyone's trying to shift over into that defense, and that's a big win for Exercise. Kerrigan can't get a clean shot.
The 7 deadly sins are lust, sloth, wrath, envy, pride, gluttony, and greed. And 3D Max struggles with greed, as on this kill, they will have both con players swinging and finding Rain, but they knew FaZe was outside of B, so by focusing Rain, they give up full on B control. So the play was great, as it's now is a 3v2, but the follow-up and just long-term thinking was not there, as Frozen finds a trade, and they're able to take Lucky down to 1 HP, who is now stuck and waiting for Exercise to help him out, and Lucky is found. As well as in the 1v1, Exercise knew he played versus an AWPer, and still shifted into the angle and lost the round.
Rain waiting for the peak, jiggling at the edge.
Doing damage, forced into the open by the utility though. Now they're gonna barrel back into Frozen. And he knows he's got a second player in that. Grenade goes in this time, 15 HP left on Lucky. Brokey goes to the sidearm instead. He's got Frozen beside him, and they just swing him. Tech9 comes in, Exercise, position known, fight had. And he's got a headshot, now just down to Brokey. And he's gonna wait, he's just gonna pull him into the fight.
Round 12 is a great example of how to rush B from FaZe, as FaZe sends 4 player fast to B, with 1 further back here to hold middle and use utility. And then they have 1 player quickly into water, and here 3D Max will be 2 players on B, and then 3 players towards mid and A. And here FaZe wants to abuse this, something they still have not done. Every time someone from 3D Max goes to con, they will try to block this smoke, and they always have a knife or utility out. As well as they will just be surrounded useless for some time, as this smoke takes some time to land. The other part is that 3D Max is not smoking main, giving FaZe a great way into site. And here we will see FaZe straight up brute force their way into taking site, and I will let you watch the rest, as 3D Max retake attempt will not end up well.
Here we go, Kerrigan, lead the way. There goes Gravity, and Lucky with a trade.
Another opening kill for FaZe. Just 1 extra to round out the half here. 4v4. Can 3D Max win a round in this first half?
Nope.
Not looking likely.
And because it's so economical in terms of utility on the entrance.
Picking up a frag, and even though it's a 1v1, there's just no time in the world for Maka to make this work.
Better hope that flashbang lasts 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, kill comes in from Frozen, and a 12-0 first half from FaZe Clan's quarterfinal speedrun.
And now I will stop the breakdown and let you all watch a team finally able to win a 13-0 and not be on the other end of it. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Crazy mistakes. This has been just dominant FaZe. Okay, Rain jiggling for info, sees nothing. Lucky already got to his left. Okay, he survives. Advanatge with the first. Rain backs up into the B bomb site. They might still try and pressure this, and indeed they will.
Another headshot for Rain, frozen to close it, and we've got Gravity and Exercise separated completely as FaZe Clan about to 13-0 their opening map of the quarterfinal.
Frozen is 16-5, Brokey 12-5, Advanatge 12-7, Rain 11-4. Everyone showed up today for FaZe. Kerrigan doesn't have the numbers, but he's had some pretty big, impactful kills. He'll get challenged when this smoke fades. Exercise gonna peek to help Gravity get into camera.
Ready to go.
Oh my.
And everyone's just looking locked in for FaZe at the moment.
All right, fair play. Well, yeah, you better start thinking about how you want to handle this one between the maps. 0 to 12. The 3D max that we saw in the group stage did not show up to this first map of the quarterfinal. Meanwhile, for FaZe, the FaZe we haven't seen all year showed up. The FaZe we've wanted to see all year. Bomb is there. A chance at the A bomb site, but a 1 versus 4. Give us something special. Give us something to talk about, baby.
The one round for 3D Max. He's got to fight on so many fronts with Joel Beretta is going back to main. Nice shot. Seconds good, but not enough. And it is a 13-0 win for FaZe Clan on the opening map of the quarterfinals. And I just want to know, what's the desk's favorite 3D Max round from that game?